Okay. It looks like I'm live, so I thought I'd talk about what's on my mind. That's it. It's um um yeah, right now I'm a little bit sick. So um but something that's on my mind is marriage, right? And I'm like I've never been married. Um but I understand the contract, which is basically a contract of marriage. Um, like when two people fall in love, they don't sign a contract. It's not paper, it's love. It's the feeling of love, right? Uh, about how two people meet and um, they fall in love and then they might go through the contract of marriage, of signing a paper through the court system of saying, "Hey, I want to marry this person, male, female, all that." Uh, but marriage is still a contract. Um, like I have never been married, right? And that's the biggest reason why I've never been married because the divorce rate is crazy. Um, and I've seen so many people go through it. And it's awful. It's awful to I mean, breaking up is awful, right? But when you're married, that's different. You can't just say I'm leaving, I want to break up with you, or you have fights and arguments and you say I want to leave and then someone says, "Okay, but we have a marriage." I don't know. I would suspect that say I want a divorce, right? So basically when you say divorce, then it's then there's a money contract. Who is this house going to? Who is this? What is this car going to? Who and then the biggest one for me is if you have kids that are young that are under 18 or whatever the legal age now is. I think it's 18 in here in the USA. So when you divorce, you have young kids, who are the kids going to, right? And they usually go to the mother, right? Unless she goes through like some drug problem or something like that, where she's been to court so many times, which I've seen on YouTube very many times. Um, but it's proper, really, it is proper for if the mother is a good person to go the children to go back to go into the mother's care. Um, but if the father didn't do anything wrong, why should he deserve to you know to to pay alimony and then half of everything, which is fine, but he shouldn't, the thing I want to defend good fathers. The father should not have to suffer to not see their kids, um, because he if the children love their father once a week, every weekend, it's not going to work for me, right? And that's why I've never been married. I guess that's the concept where I'm going through. What I'm trying to make people understand that sub my channel. The concept of of say the father is he's a good father, right? You go hire a lawyer, right? And then um well, they both have to, right? And you pay. See, here's the thing. You pay for a lawyer to get divorced. And that's crazy. You pay to get married and you it's not paying to get divorced. I'm sorry. You're not paying to get to break up. You're paying to get divorced. And then you have these l- uh legal battles, custody battles of your own kids. But if they're older, if they're adults, then it's like they can do their own thing, right? But um I thought I'd talk about that for a little bit, but it looks like I saw somebody join a little bit earlier. They left, so I have a feeling I know who that is. But um okay, here's the thing. Okay, I'll describe. I was not watching, but I was listening to a comedian when I was at work, and the comedian is called Bill Burr. So white guy, red hair, very popular as far as I know. Um, and he described marriage as like he is married, right? Which is kind of strange, right? But he's married, and he said, "Why are people still getting married? Don't people look at the percentages of divorces? It's like 3 to 4. 75% of people are getting divorced." And then he's making a joke about it, right? He's a comedian. And he said, "What if I was jumping off of an airplane like with a parachute and told me 3 out of those 4 parachutes are faulty, are not working. I'm not jumping out of an airplane," which was a great punchline. So I'm so happy that I understand that. I understand it within my own life. So I've met a lot of. I'll be honest with you. I met a lot of women that are married and are very, very kind people or nice people within themselves. Um, it's a hard subject to talk about for people that are married. I met a guy at work. I'm not going to mention his name, but I met a guy at work, and he talked to me about, and I'm 50 years old. He told me he's 36, and he's divorced, and he was talking to me about custody and money and how she still asks him for money when she doesn't deserve it, and his older child is living with him, and so she's asking whatever. See, I don't want to go through the whole thing because it does make me angry. Not angry like violently angry. It just makes me upset that that divorce is horrible. I know people go through the honeymoon of when they first fall in love, and they're like for me, I'll talk about myself. Oh, she's beautiful. She's a wonderful person. And I've lived with a girlfriend that I had past, and she was separated, so she wasn't completely divorced. But I went through the concept, or not the concept, but the situation where I heard them fighting about money and about custody. And I was like, and I was young. I was 28. Um, and um, that was one of the biggest arguments we had. And I left. And so, my thing is, like, if you love someone, like for me, if I fall in love with someone, I want to meet them in person, right? Um, I want to talk about our situations and see what's going on. I don't I don't have a whole lot of money, so that's not important. It's um, I don't think I know that money is a big issue with relationships, because we all have to pay rent, we all have to pay whatever bills. For me, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just, the thing about me is I'm focusing on myself. But the concept, or the concept that I'm talking about right now is marriage. So marriage is a contract. You have to sign a paper to say, I am now officially married to this person. And my brother's married. Um, my sister's married. Um, I'm very sure their kids are going to get married because they believe in that concept. And, um, you know, to be honest with you, one or either or both have issues, but they still, um, I hope that they continue with their path that they're going on. So I'm not going to talk about them and their issues, but yeah, if you fall in love, the concept for me is, at least if you say I love you, at least be able to hug them or kiss them. I can't do that. So I'll end it with that. Bye.